Good morning. It's Tuesday. I am so happy to be here today, and there's going to be some things that I want to talk about around no. The just saying the word brings up a negative connotation to most of us, right? Um, in our businesses, when we propose an offer to someone, a no can set a whole train of things in motion. So, for instance, I was on a call the other day, a consult, like a discovery call for a potential client, and it was uncomfortable for me. Um, I I knew right away that, gosh, this person most likely isn't my type of client. However, I had that tug throughout the 25 minutes that we were on a call that I could help her. I knew that I could help her with her problem that she was having. And so I continued through our call, and I even said at the end, I would love to help you, and I will send you an email as a follow-up giving you some ideas of what ways we can do that. So I actually struggled the rest of the day going, okay, boy, I don't want to do this. It was my gut feeling like this is not the right continuation for us. And so I was like, okay, I've got to be true to myself. And so I nicely let her know that I didn't think that we were necessarily a good fit, even though I could sympathize with her situation and that things were, understandable from where she was at, and that I gave her a couple of tactical things that I might suggest. And then I got a response back from her, and just a few hours later, and it was energy filled with negativity. And you could tell that I hit a nerve by saying no. And what that did was really brought some other things from my past up for me. Thinking about how I felt, when I was doing consultations for events, or with, specifically with weddings. And so I want to know, and if you're not here live with me, that's fine. So I want to know, though, in the comments, like, what comes up for you when you hear the word no? Are there things that come up for you? Does it trigger you in some way? When someone says no to you or your services or your product, what comes up for you? So I'm going to tell you about another story of a consult that went rogue. Quite a few years ago, I was meeting with a client, and it was a mother of a bride. And, everything that I do up to having a consultation, she had not wanted to participate. She was, not answering the questionnaire. She wanted to just come in. She badgered my event manager until she could just get an appointment. And so I was like, okay, come on in. This is, she wants to make this happen, and she has to have it right now. And so we made it happen for her. I rearranged my schedule so that I would be able to sit down. And she was like, I have to meet with Christy, and we want Christy to do the flowers. And she was going on and on. So she showed up, and automatically there was just a wall up, and I could feel it. I could feel something was going on. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, let's go about the way you do your consultation, Christy. Just go ahead. Maybe she's having a bad day. Maybe something else is going on. So we started to get into the consultation, and next thing I know, she's abrasive. She is almost to the point of like, impress me and, saying, impress me. I want you to do this. And, but then challenging me on everything, every suggestion. Well, no, I don't really think I like that. That's not what she wants. I'm like, well, what does she want? And then she proceeded to tell me what I realized was what she wanted, not her daughter. So then I'm thinking to myself, she didn't bring her daughter. And I'm like, what do? I need to please. Generally, you have to please both people. So it continued on, and I finally just said, am I upsetting you in some way? Have I said something to offend you in some way? And she stopped and she's like, well, my daughter is the one that really wants you, and I'm not convinced about you. And I'm like, okay, that's totally fine. She's like, well, actually, I plan on doing the flowers, and that's what I really want to do. And I feel like I have to do my due diligence by coming in and talking to you. And so I'm like, well, you don't have to do due diligence at all. If you want to do this for your daughter, then that is what you and your daughter get to decide. It sounds like this isn't going to be a good fit, and that we probably should just go ahead and end the consultation now. And with that, she picked up her things and she left in a huff. Meanwhile, my entire staff, because the way I had my consultation room set up in that particular location, it was, a wall that separated it, but it was open airs in a warehouse situation. So they could hear what was going on, and they were freaking out. They could not believe that I had been so bold to ask her if I had offended her in some way. And so I just was thinking to myself, honestly, there is so much that do we have time to deal with that? No, we don't. Do we get to decide if we want to put ourselves in these situations that make us uncomfortable, or that we know is not where we need to be? Here I was so, knew what I wanted when that lady for the consultation, when the mother of the bride came in, and I knew that wasn't good, and I stopped it before it went too far. However, just the other day, I get on a call, and because I knew I could help, I continued the conversation instead of stopping it. So what I'm going to say is, these things happen, right? We could think that we've conquered the world by saying, like, I know that I won't take this and I'm not going to do it anymore. And we can end up realizing that actually we still get to learn how to do this again and again. Do we get better? Yes. In fact, I was realizing as I was talking to the potential coaching client, I was realizing when I got off the call too, I'm like, whoa. I need to figure out a way to let her know as nicely as possible that we're not the right fit. And so when you say no, it gives you a sense of power to know that this isn't going to work. And you also know that it's also saying to yourself, money isn't the only reason why I do what I do. I do it because I love what I do, and I want to work with clients that want to work with us. So when you're putting out your offers or you're putting out something, you get to say, hey, do I want them as a client? So you get to say no too. And that's what I wanted to talk about. But I also wanted to talk about how it feels when we get the word no. So, I asked you earlier about what comes up for you when you hear the word no, right? So what comes up for you when you get a no? what does it say about you when you hear the word no to your products or services? That's a little different kind of spin. Do you take yourself out of the situation and realize that a no is good to hear? Because no can mean several things. A no from them can mean it's not the right fit, which is great because you could be saving yourself from a huge amount of issues going down the line. It could mean for them that it's a no, not right now. They need to think about it. They need to kind of go back and figure things out a little bit and discuss it. Or they need some time to ruminate it a little bit more and kind of dig in deep. So that could mean what no is. But it also can mean for you, it can open up more opportunities. It can open up the opportunities for you to realize that there's something else coming along the way. And it can also mean that you're saying yes to something else. No matter what, if they're saying no to you, it's not a no to you. It's a no to your product or your services, or it's a no because they don't know what they're doing or where they're going, or they found something else that they think is a better fit. And that's okay, because when that no comes in, it opens up more for yes. And I can't tell you how many times in my business when I got a no from someone, even just ordering retail, okay, just a simple retail order. I've spent some time on the phone talking to them and saying, okay, this is what you're looking for. I'd love to do this. This is what we can do today. This is what we have. And they're like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to go ahead. Or no, your price is too high. Okay, let's address your price is too high. Your price is too high for them. It has nothing to say about you. Your price is too high means that their affordability for the package that you have put together, because you know your worth, you know your worth, is not something that they can afford, or it's not something that they're willing to pay for. That's their decision. That has nothing to do with you. Yes, we get to decide on our own terms if it's something that we want to discount and still offer to someone, or if it's something that we are like, okay, I totally understand that, and I wish you well. Bless and release. I say, bless them and release them. Release it out. But however, all too often, when somebody comes back and says to you, hey, it's, your price, it's too much. Are you guilty of going back because you want to do that so badly that you're willing to cut down your offer so that you get the business? That's brass tacks. I'm saying don't do that. You get to decide if you want to do that, yes. But I'm saying, why are you cutting back your worth because someone else has told you what the price you should offer is? They're essentially saying, this amazing proposal that you put together, or this beautiful design that you have and that you can send out today for me, or this amazing job that you said that you're going to be able to do for me for my hair and makeup for my wedding, or you're going to be able to shoot this amazing, beautiful wedding day photography for me. Here's what I'm actually want to pay you for it. It doesn't matter what you said it costs, because here's what I'm going to pay you for it. Boy, that doesn't sound good, does it? Do they know how long it takes you to even work on the proposal for them? Did they know the amount of expertise that you put into where you got to where you are today? Do they know how you take it so seriously that they are your client and that they're going to work for you? I mean, that you're going to work for them and you're going to give them so much more than they thought? These things are what's important. So, no can mean yes. No can mean yes to you. When you say no and when you hear no, I want you to look at the opportunities that it brings you. But I also want you to look at what is coming up for you, what is triggered for you. Now, there are things that can be triggered. It could be a sense of imposter syndrome, like, oh my gosh, nobody knows. Why am I doing this? I just can't book anybody. What is wrong with me? It has nothing to do with it. But sometimes we get to dig in and find out why that keeps coming up for you. We talk about that in my coaching a lot. We talk about the things that are like putting on the brakes that keep you then going back out there to do something again. Because you don't want to do that. You don't want to put on the brakes. You want to be able to drive and go and get to those destinations. And you don't want anything to stop you. So I don't want a no to stop you. And whatever those triggers are that are coming up for you, and if you want to put in the triggers in the chat, that's totally fine too. I'd love to know what comes up for you when you hear a no. You heard today the things that came up for me. I start to doubt myself. I start to think about things differently. And I sometimes I feel uncomfortable. But that's not what I want to concentrate on. What I want to concentrate on is where I want to be in my business. And I want to work with those people that I resonate with, that I can feel like I'm in alignment and congruent with where I want to go and who I want to be and what I want to do. So that's what I wanted to have for you today. And I wanted you to just know that it's okay to say no, and it's okay to hear a no, because you've got yeses that are waiting for you, and you're going to say yes to yourself time and time again. So that's all I have. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.